Alright, so today's video is going to be everything that's wrong and right about my wife's 1998 Honda CRV. So first things first, I installed this JDM front brush guard thing with lights. It's pretty neat. It's like an option in Japan for CRVs. Some of the CRVs came with them. Some of them was a dealer option. I don't really know much about it, but it's cool, and I really liked it, and so I bought it. We found a set of 5 Integra Type R's, so we got new tires and put those on. I painted the calipers red. When I replaced the upper control arms, I painted those red, and I put OEM style shocks. They're not OEM, they're OE shocks. We have the dealer option Nerf bars all the way around, both sides and the rear. The rear is pretty rare to find. I painted the drum red as well. She's got some rust. I painted a truck bed liner on it. It has grown, as you can see, but she does have rust, and that's normal. I've seen them way worse. We got the rear Nerf bar. When I replaced the shocks, I painted the rear lower control arm. I was going to replace it with a aftermarket one, but these are way stronger, and the aftermarket ones were super expensive, so that's why I chose just to paint it. And I got this bar. It's real light aluminum. I forget the name brand of it, but they're on Amazon and eBay. It was I don't know, probably 60 bucks. It probably won't do much of anything as far as strengthening the suspension. I mean, if you look at the bar right above it, that thing's super thick, so I'm sure that little bar doesn't do shit. But it looks good when it's cleaned up. I installed a reverse camera, but because of the way the CRV, the license plate is off-centered, the camera's off-centered, and so it's kind of weird when you're backing up. We also got the JDM rear spoiler with the brake light. The brake light isn't even connected. For some reason, I didn't do it. And I've got the sticker. Those come on the JDM cars. That is not an official one. It's just somebody remade it, but it's pretty cool. I like it. And I bought this for my wife. I'm only speeding because I really have to poop. She really likes it, but this car is slow as fuck anyway. I did get the JDM style taillights because the OEM ones look like candy corn. And on the passenger side, obviously there's rust. It's grown a little bit, but not much since I painted the truck bed liner or undercar coating. We got the Integra Type R. We got the 5th Integra Type R. The Nerf bar on this side. We have the full leather interior I got from an SE. I put these in a long time ago. The seats are already ripping. Same thing with the passenger. The back seat is in good shape though. And I do have the JDM center console. It's pretty nice. It's got that blue fabric, so I pulled it out when we swapped the interior to the leather. The JDM center console connects to the seat, which would be the driver's seat. But even the USDM versions have the cutouts for it. But I don't really like it because it moves with the seat. It sits up too high, so you can't have the armrest. The US version connects with this bracket into the floor. I've thought about cutting the bracket down, re-welding it, and then mounting it to that bracket, and then wrapping it with leather. Alright, now we have the dealer option tweeter. We found those in one of the groups and bought those. I've got it's the EDM headlight switch. Some of the CRVs in Europe, the headlights will rotate up and down. And so that's pretty cool, but it's not hooked up. Then I have the main roof switch. I think it locks the sunroof on the JDM cars. The sunroof on the JDM cars is really big, and it covers the, or it goes over the rear back seat. I'll post a picture of that right now. And then I have the fog light. It's a different color, but it's the only one I could find. This one is hooked up to the white fog lights, and this one's hooked up to the yellow fog lights. Then some more JDM goodies. We got the whole vent system with the hazard light, the clock with the temperature thing, and it works. The temp works. I have the JDM auto aircon, which you just set it on auto, set it to like 20 degrees Celsius, and it will blow the air until the inside temperature reaches 20 degrees, and then it'll turn off, or it'll slow down. Same thing with the heat. You want it to be hot, it'll blow until it gets hot, and it'll cut off automatically. And we have the other tweeter over there. I took the glove box out a long time ago, which I need to put it back in. My wife's always bitched at me about it. But I took it out because I replaced the blower motor and the AC coil thing that's inside there, and the expansion valve. I've got a video of that, which I'll throw a card up of that. Then I put a Android 9 radio. It's got navigation, it's touchscreen. The backup camera hooks up to it. It's pretty nice. We really like it. The brand is Pumpkin. I don't know, but it works. It's good. It boots up quick. Never had a problem with it. And it has GPS, and I don't know what the other one is. I forget. I taped them up to up here, but they keep falling down, so it's whatever. And of course, I got the Broadway mirror. Every car I own will always have a Broadway mirror. It just makes things so much nicer to see out of. You don't have tunnel vision. I also have the JDM grab bars that go across here. They're really cool. It would require me to cut a couple holes in the headliner up here. And this little thing right here comes off, and a screw goes into there. But the problem with that is there's no threads behind that or even up here. So I would have to pull all this out and weld like nuts up in there so we can screw in the grab bar. She's got 227,000 miles. 272,000 miles. I'm dyslexic. As far as maintenance, I've done the general maintenance, ball joints, upper control arms, the shocks, head gasket, timing belt, water pump, alternator I replaced. I replaced the AC compressor, the AC stuff. But I mean, other than that, she's run pretty good. We haven't had any major problems with her until now. Now she runs like shit, and I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with it. I don't know if it's got a spun bearing or if it's just something stupid. It probably is something stupid. But here, we'll start her up. I'll show you what's going on. Vitals really low. It sounds like it's only like firing on a 3 piston, or it sounds like it's missing on one of them, and then it wants to die. But it sounds like shit. I don't know what's wrong with it. I feel like it's just running on 3 pistons or something. But it's awful. The engine light blinks, and it runs horrible. Again, it's probably something stupid, but I'm just going to rebuild the whole engine. Actually, the engine that I pulled out of that CRV is going to be rebuilt. And it's going into this CRV. But as far as the engine, like I said, I've done the head gasket, water pump, timing belt. I painted the valve cover. It's starting to chip, but I didn't primer it. I got a video of that. I put a Skunk 2 intake manifold, a 70mm throttle body. The throttle body has given it really good throttle response, but it does tend to bog down just because I think it's getting too much air and not enough fuel. And it's still running on the OEM's ECU. And like I said, I replaced the alternator, I replaced this fan. There's a video of that. I replaced the radiator a long time ago. Don't have a video of that though. I do have kind of a video of putting this stuff in, but I think I quit recording. I think it just ends. I never finished recording the videos, or the videos got lost. I don't know what happened, but I don't have a complete series of putting the intake manifold on. But I have kind of dressed it up. You know, I got the battery tie down and the little fender washers around. But overall, you know, CRV's been a good car. We've had it for 7 years. She had like maybe just under or just over 200,000 miles when we bought her. I think we paid $4,200 for it 7 years ago, and we've definitely got our money out of it, you know. But it's time to buy my wife a new car. I'm gonna rebuild this engine. I'm gonna put the OEM airbox, the OEM intake manifold on it, and pull all the JDM goodies off of it, and then this car will be my daughter's. So this is an automatic CRV. My other CRV is a 5-speed, and the original plan was to take all the goodies off of this one, put it on this one, and then B20 VTEC the 5-speed CRV. But my wife decided she wanted a new car, and she deserves it. You know, we've had this thing for 7 years. She's drove it for 7 years, and you know, it's time to get her a new car. So this one goes to my daughter. This one, I don't know if I'm gonna junk it or pull what I can off of it. I would really like to use these wheels, the Integra Type R's, on the Red Wagon, but it's a different lug pattern, and to do a five lug swap on that is a pain in the ass. I was thinking I could take the 5 lug swap off of this CRV and put it on the Red Wagon, but it doesn't look like that's, you know, going to be an option. There's too much shit you got to do to make it work, and plus I don't even know if it will work, because I know the steering knuckle's a lot taller, so it would raise my wagon up quite a bit, and I don't want to do that. But if I end up junking this CRV, the motor that's in this one I will rebuild, put a VTEC head on it, and throw it in this car, because I have all the 5-speed stuff from this CRV that I can put into that car, and then that will be a B20 VTEC 5-speed all-wheel drive. But I don't know what I'm going to do 100% at this point. You know, the Red Wagon, definitely I want to do something with it, do some kind of swap. I mean, I would really like to do a K-swap, but that's just too expensive. Or, you know, maybe keep this CRV and B20 VTEC it, or do a K-swap in this, but again, it's expensive. But honestly, I've looked up all the parts, junkyard, what I would need, you know, not including rebuilding the motor, just a junkyard motor with transmission. You need a DC subframe, and I could do a K-swap on this CRV, which would be awesome, but it's just not practical right now, money-wise and time. But I don't know, it's still an option. But this CRV's been sitting for, I don't know, 7 years, maybe not that long, because I was driving this when we bought my wife her CRV. So 5 years, maybe 6. I fucked it up. I broke the I think the diff in the transmissions broke, because when you pull the drive axle out, the propeller or whatever you want to call it, the front won't pull itself, but now if you hook it back up, it'll run, but the rear diff makes all that noise like the typical Honda rear diff makes when you do a turn, but it does it all the time, and it's super loud and annoying. It squeaks really bad, so that's why I parked that thing. And I found the Red Wagon, and I'd never looked back at this since. But it's time to do something with it, either junk it or finish fixing it. You know, I've got a whole nother transmission for it. Maybe it's time, or maybe I just stick all that into the Red Wagon. But anyway, that's everything that's right and wrong with my wife's 1998 CRV. In the next video, I'm going to start pulling the motor out of it. So look forward to that. And that will continue with the B20 rebuild series, which I'm just waiting on the block from the machine shop for that. I called the machine shop today. They said it would be another day or two. So, but hopefully we can get it all together before I grow old and die, because I tend to do that with my projects. They end up sitting, like this one, for 5 years or more. I mean, shit, the red wagon's been sitting with a blown head gasket forever. I mean, I just recently started working on it. It's been sitting probably 3 years, because the red wagon blew a head gasket after I put the Jackson Racing supercharger on it. And then I found the Beagle. We flew down to Miami, drove the Beagle back, and the red wagon's been sitting ever since. I never touched it. So, but whatever. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Watch my next videos. Alright. See you next video. Later.